Last night, in a closed-door private meeting with American Evangelical leaders, Donald Trump took fear-mongering to unconscionable, dangerous, and detestable new heights. Well, you may recall that last week, in an if it weren't so obnoxious and stupid, it would be hilarious moment, Trump claimed in an interview with Ainsley Earhart from, of course, Fox News, that if he were to be impeached, the stock market would crash and everybody would become poor. And never to be outdone, even by himself, he warned these evangelical leaders that there will be blood if Republicans don't win in the November 6th midterms. In recorded audio excerpts reviewed by NBC News, which have not yet been released to the public, Trump stated, quote, "The level of hatred, the level of anger is unbelievable. Part of it is because some of the things I've done for you and for me and for my family, but I've done them. This November 6th election is very much a referendum on not only me, it's a referendum on your religion. It's a referendum on free speech and the First Amendment. If the GOP loses, they will overturn everything that we've done, and they'll do it quickly and violently, and violently. There's violence. When you look at Antifa and you look at some of these groups, these are violent people," unquote. Now, for a man who is accustomed to dangerous and irresponsible rhetoric as a rule, not the exception, this may just be one of the most deeply disturbing moves yet from Trump. He is using a familiar refrain with these evangelicals, apocalyptic language, to a group of religious people with an apocalyptic mindset. He is perfidiously equating the methods and antics of Antifa with the peaceful and democratically elected lawmakers of the opposition party who may gain power in the upcoming midterms. He's comparing 78-year-old Nancy Pelosi and 67-year-old Chuck Schumer with these people, who have admittedly, at times, unlawfully and irresponsibly used violence to combat the rising fascist mentality in America. Look, no reasonable person buys that Democrats in Congress would use violence in any way, shape, or form to combat Trump's policy directives. In other words, he's priming people for civil war, one that is not coming unless it's of his own design. Listen, I come from this religious tradition, evangelicalism. This is a flavor of Christianity in which many members are steeped in conspiracy and doom and gloom and looking forward to the end of the world, of teachings of the Antichrist and marks of the beast. Decades ago, this segment of the church became more a partition of the Republican Party than the body of Christ. There is talk of contempt of the United States government and often whispers of revolt against the same. And for Donald Trump to stoke the fear that's already baked into their pre-rapture 7-year tribulation mindsets, well, that's sick, twisted, but moreover, it's dangerous. There is no threat to Christians now, nor will they be when Trump is no longer in office. Christians make up over 70% of the population in America. They were fine the entire time that Obama was in office, and they'll certainly be fine long after Trump is gone. There are hardwired constitutional protections for people and their faith of their choosing. What Trump is doing and saying is rooted in playing off the fear of these people and what may just be catalyzed by that very fear. In short, Donald Trump is attempting to appeal to the worst and darkest within people rather than to the better angels of our nature. There is something that Trump said to those evangelicals leaders, though, that is true. This November 6th is very much a referendum on Donald Trump. It is critical that each and every one of you get out to the polls and vote, even if your local races are safe ones. We must vote and send not only the right candidates back to Washington, D.C., we must send a message that Trump and his fear-mongering cannot, must not, will not win.